I'll do a roll call. Mrs. Hardin?
Here.
Vice President Heredia?
Here.
I'm here. Mr. Guadiana?
Here.
It looks like David's not here. Mr. Terrazas, I did send him a text. And then we have our student representative. Okay, that moves us to our board norms. Number 1, actively listen to all perspectives.
Number 2, close the loop responding to concerns and questions as a unified board.
Number 3, model the professionalism we expect from all members of the district and community, customer service orientation.
And number 5, be positive and responsive. If everyone could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico to be a symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures.
Mr. Terrazas said he's not able to attend tonight. Okay, that moves us to item 2, adoption of the agenda. Does anyone have any, Mr. Corey, do you have any suggestions?
Yes, I would like to, under 6, I'd like to remove C and E. Both employees were out sick today.
Okay, any other suggestions, comments? All right, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
I move that we adopt the agenda with the changes.
Okay, is there a second?
Okay.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same side. Okay, that moves us to item 3, public input. Item A, is there any public input on agenda items? Anyone online? Okay. What about public input on items of concern? All right. That moves us to item 4, our student representative report.
I feel like I'm at like a congressional hearing right now. But so yeah, not a whole lot going on at the high school right now. It's finals week, so everyone's getting it done today and tomorrow, and then makeups on Wednesday and Thursday. Everyone's ready to go home for the summer, including myself. Just counting down the minutes, not even the days, the minutes. And that's all I have. So, thank you.
Thank you. It was nice and short and sweet. And remember, like I said, feel free if you need to get up and go. Don't worry. No, don't hesitate. Or you're welcome to stay with us. Either way. All right, that moves us to item 5, new business. Item A, first reading of policy revision B-14, 100 BE school board meetings. So this was discussed at the last meeting. I think Mrs. Hardin brought it up about us going down to 1 meeting a month. And so Charlene typed up, got in contact with Mr. Guillen at the New Mexico School Board Association. He walked her through the process and he said we could bring it before the board. And so I'll read what it currently says, and then I'll read the proposed new. So regular board meetings, the second and fourth Monday of each calendar month is designated as a regular board meeting date. What we're proposing, and the only change would be instead of the second and fourth Monday of each calendar month, is the third Monday of each calendar month is designated as the regular board meeting date. So questions, comments? No, this is just a first reading, so of course people can make public comment and we have time to discuss. But I like the idea. I think at our last meeting, everyone was in favor of this. I know Bayard City Council has also done this, and I think their staff is much happier with the one meeting a month. I know it is a lot lengthier, but I like the idea.
I'd like to point out that we've had 2 meetings a month and now almost 2 special meetings in addition to that. So question is, are we going to make the board meetings too lengthy? The question is, what would be advantageous to the public? You have 2 meetings of shorter term, or 1 meeting that could be substantially longer? To me, I think that would deter participation, although we rarely ever have participation. I hope we at least strive to make it something that people would attend. That's my comment.
Okay, thank you. And of course, if the public has comments, we gladly would take them. Absolutely. So there's no action on that. That's just the first reading. Did you guys have anything to add? Angelina or Emery?
I like the idea of 1 meeting a month. Better. The meetings are already lengthy when we're at 2.
Anything else to add, Mrs. Harden?
I agree with Henry. I think we should just have 1 meeting. If it does go lengthy, isn't there any action that we can do to change that? If we have to go to 2 meetings a month?
We could, but I think our hope is to get everything done in that one meeting. And maybe I'd love to talk to some of the Bayard City councilors and see how they approach it. I mean, it's a recent change for them. I'd like to maybe talk to them and see how it's going and how the public has responded to it too.
Okay.
Okay. That moves us to item 6, our administration principal / directors reports. Our San Lorenzo principal, Shay Beeble. Thank you.
Yep.
Madam President, Board members, thank you for having us, and thank you for this little note that reminded me to say that. So that's fun. Just trying to nice velocity. All right, now can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, so I was told by your esteemed high school principal back here to, I quote, keep it short. So here we go. The first one, I printed you off our data from August on iStation. And then if you flip to the next page, it is our May data. It is pretty much 100% complete. We still have a few kids in there, but very few. So as you can tell, I mean, we made huge gains this year, not only towards growth, obviously, which is our main goal, but towards proficiency too. And so we're definitely making gains towards that, and I can't wait to see what happens next year. So again, the first page is the August scores for reading, and the second page is May. And then if you keep going, the same thing is true here. These are math results on iStation. Our school does test all the way through 5th grade on iStation, which I like because it gives us that monthly progress monitoring, which I prefer to have versus just testing them. It's more testing for 4th and 5th grade, but I like the data. Again, you can see in August, we had quite a few kids in red. Our proficiency levels were down. And then if you turn to the May results, the graph pretty much speaks for itself. So we've had pretty good gains across the board. Our iStation or our iMesa data is on the next pages. And it pretty much matches what you see in iStation. Pretty good gains across the board. In reading, we went from 0% proficiency in third grade to 50% proficiency, and also no kids in the red level. In fourth grade, we went from 33% proficient to 69% proficient in reading. Fifth grade went from 44% to 82% proficient in reading. So definitely give a lot of credit to my teachers who have worked really hard, along with interventionists, some of our volunteers that have come into the school, and I'm just really proud of that data. Language usage, the same thing. You see it across the board. We went from 0% proficiency in third grade to 50%. The 12% there on the red, that actually is representative of one student. In fourth grade, we went from 33% to 85% proficient. And in fifth grade, 56 to 55. There was some student changes in there which skewed that data just a little bit. In math, third grade, Ms. Topmiller came through and she was not real happy with her results. But as you can tell, she made huge growth from 0% to 12%. There still are the 62% that we obviously need to work on. But if you look at the growth of those students, it's probably like 2 grade levels that they're still there, but they made huge gains. If you remember, they came in testing about first grade level, and now they're almost going to make it. So I think next year that class will actually be with Ms. Topmiller again, and I think that if they make the same gains, they'll be in the proficiency level. So really proud of that. In fourth grade, from 13 to 31, and in fifth grade, from 22 to 55. So huge gains across the board, and like I said, I'm just really proud of the work that my teachers have done across the board, and the kids too. They put in a lot, so have their families. It takes everybody, and they've all done their part, and can tell. Any questions?
Just a comment, thank you. It's nice to see all green on iStation for a whole school. So
In math too?
Yes, our math scores have really come up, and we focused a lot on math this year because, I mean, as you guys all know, math is not always our strong point. I mean, even as a state, and so we did make some changes to what we did, and we got the bang for our buck. So, are we where we want to be? Not yet, but we're definitely making gains.
Thank you.
thank you.
It's a whole range. There's some really significant change improvements, and yet there's some that still are incremental. But is there anything that you could benefit from that would help you accelerate?
Well, next year, it's my understanding, am I going to get like a part-time interventionist, or I'm not sure what it is. And I don't know who that person's going to be. But our interventionists play a significant role, I feel like, in where our students that are struggling, the amount of gains that they make. And so I hope that I can find somebody to fill that position.
Yeah, and it's the same old song that we hear, and it doesn't materialize into that, and I'm hoping it does.
So Miss, and I'll give a shout out to Miss Pettis, who comes in. She volunteers a ton of time. She does our stat coordinator, and she comes in almost on sub-pay because she doesn't want to be a full-time employee. But she comes in and helps our students, and she is a godsend to our students. And Miss Ross is retiring this year for the second time. And she also, I think that it's going to hurt our students to lose Miss Ross because she's so instrumental in what she does.
The last time you were here, you mentioned the gentleman that was volunteering his time to do that. And I had made a suggestion that it'd be nice if we could pay the gentleman for doing that work. What happened with that?
So he's still coming. He won't, of course, come next week. He just volunteers and comes in. But if you look at our scores, even from March, whenever about the time that he started, to now, they've gone up. So did he make a difference? I believe that he did. When he comes in, he works with small groups. I mean, it helps when you're working with
paying
one or
him now?
no, we are not. We are not. I would also like to say that he built us a ukulele holder that is, it was going to cost us $900 on Amazon for Mr. Lewis to organize his ukuleles, and he built one for us that looks like it came from a factory. Super cool. So he just does a lot of things for us as a community member, and we really appreciate him.
I hope we can reward him appropriately. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Biebel. That moves us to item B, our Supervisor of Food Services, Ms. Alma Grijalva.
Thank you. Thanks. Last one.
Good evening, President Begay, Vice President Heredia, members of the board, Superintendent Corey. We have 7 school days left and counting. The food service department will be running the summer lunch program June 2nd through the 26th, Monday through Thursday. We will also be providing meals for the students that will be attending the summer reading program at Bayard Elementary. Our school sites are the same as last year. Bayard Park, Viola Stone Park, Curry Park, and San Lorenzo Elementary. We had to move that from the La Tiendita that we did in the past. We have to change it to the school. All meals must be consumed on site. It's a new rule. We're going to go back to what we used to have, where they have to eat it on site and serve it, and we have to consume. Cobre Food Service will have New Mexico Pet in the district July 29th and July 30th for a 2-day hands-on training for the school year 2025-2026. That's it. Short and sweet.
So it looks like you got selected to go to a summit. You're excited?
Very.
Is it just you, or does your staff get? Just your
There's
staff?
only 10 in the whole state of New Mexico that got chosen. I was one of them.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
On the families on meals, they're gonna be every day instead of being.
Every day, miss. Every day. And they can only have just one meal. We can't do like breakfast and lunch anymore. It's just one meal at a time. Like we used to give, like on Mondays, we used to give for the whole week. Yeah, that's out of the question.
So are
It's gonna be daily.
you still doing the breakfast and lunch every day, or just lunch?
It's just gonna, for San Lorenzo, it can only be lunch because we don't go and come and go and come.
Okay. But the
The
other,
school, they will have breakfast and lunch.
okay. How are the gardens going? The hydroponic?
Oh, it's growing. We're on our last plantation.
Okay,
We've got 2 different kinds of lettuce.
awesome. Any other questions, comments?
Did those a document in our packet that had to do with rings or jewelry?
Alicia Edwards is going to present that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right, thank you, Alma.
Enjoy the summit.
Have fun. Okay, that moves us to item D, our Coordinator of Technology, Caitlin Church.
I don't know if Madam President, members of the board, Ms. Corey, thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I guess I'm either a slacker or I'm just way too busy to put together fun handouts for y'all. I'm going to go with the second because it makes me look more.
It's because you're at all the meetings, Caitlin. So we'll forgive you.
Well, at this point in the year, we are actually ramping up for next year already. We have 1/3 of our teachers in the district with new laptops in their hand at this point. We thought we were going to have a problem. The laptops we bought had a faulty driver installed on them from the factory. We worked with Lenovo, and I have to give a huge shout out to Lenovo because they stepped up big time. When they said, we will get you a new driver written, we thought maybe a month. They had it ready within 5 days. So they have stepped up. Our vendor that we bought them through stepped up and made sure that Lenovo knew that this was a priority situation, that we needed to get it done before school ended for us. So I've been extremely happy with our vendor relationships due to this little problem. Mr. Corey was aware of everything every step of the way. I think I've met with him like 5 days straight, just giving him updates. But they are good to go. We are getting them out to the teachers, and most of the teachers are liking them. For those who have the new black Lenovo laptops that I passed out to y'all last summer, same devices for the teachers. So we are extremely happy with them, and those who have got them are happy so far. A couple of them are kind of upset there's no touchscreen, but like I tell them, bigger screen, touchscreen, flip a coin, you only get one. Also, as of August, when we reissue Chromebooks to all of our students, there will be no Chromebook in the district older than 18 months. We got those last batch of new Chromebooks in a couple of weeks ago. Those are sitting in the middle school and high school ready to be issued out for the next year. So we are extremely grateful for the tech bond to be able to do that because our technology was getting a little long in the tooth. We also have some major upgrades to our network here in our district office scheduled for this summer, give us a higher capacity backbone with faster internet speeds throughout the entire district. And that's what's happening in technology.
Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you for the
Thank you.
update.
A question. Last year, it was like a bifurcated system of some computers had insurance on them, some of them did not, and some of them, the parents had to pay for the insurance. Where are we at now with this?
Insurance is completely optional. It will continue to be offered. The reason we are offering the insurance on the new devices is strictly to help offset cost down the road. To replace a screen on a Chromebook is roughly $100. We're only asking for a $25 one-time fee that will cover their device all year, regardless of how much damage happens. So again, it's optional. With the new devices we all have in, they have factory warranty on them, but that factory warranty only goes so far. It doesn't cover anything accidental or intentional. So we've got to have a system in place to try to recoup some of those costs.
And based on this year's costs, is the $25. And is that $25 then?
Unlike the rest of the insurance world, there's no inflation with our Chromebook insurance. It will continue to be $25 per student.
Question was, was all of that how much of that actually went into repairs and how much of that is rolling over, I hope?
All of it's rolling over this year because we had plenty of older devices we were able to salvage parts from to repair older devices that needed repair. New devices, again, all the new devices the elementaries had, they have warranty on them. We sent everything back on that warranty. And the company, like always, replaced or repaired everything without question. So all that money gets to roll over into the repair fund for next year. So when we do have those accidental damage or those intentional damage situations, we're not using operational funds, we're not using bond money to pay. We've got money set aside for repairs. And for those parents that choose to purchase the insurance, again, the insurance is optional. For those who choose to buy the insurance, it's peace of mind that if their child does drop their Chromebook off the bus and steps on it on their way out, they're not paying $300 to replace a Chromebook. They're only paying, $25 they've already paid.
So it's only optional. Last year, there were some computers that didn't have, or this year, that didn't have a warranty, and those were charged.
If a student was charged for damage to a computer this year, it was because it was damaged to a charging cable, charging cord, power supply, or it was damage that went over and above what the warranty covered. And I don't have those numbers in front of me. The individual librarians handle that, and they haven't sent me those numbers at this point. So,
Okay. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Thank you. Okay, that moves us to item 7, our action items. Item A, approval of the regular board meeting minutes of April 28th, 2025. Is there any questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I move that we approve the regular board meeting minutes of April 28, 2025.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, that moves us to item B. Second reading and approval of policy advisories 261 and 262. I still have not received any public comment. Has the office received anything, Charlene? Okay, any discussion?
No. That big lengthy thing we had to read last time.
All right, then I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I move that we approve the policy advisories 261 and 262.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Passes. Item C, discussion and approval of wellness policy with changes. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair and, Madam President, excuse me, and board members. I'm going to take advantage of your generosity to give me some time to tell you really quickly about what I just passed out. This is the Healthy Kids, Healthy Communities newsletter, and on page 5 it does feature the student nutrition department here for Cobre School District. Somebody asked earlier about the hydroponic garden. So it does talk about the hydroponic garden, and I just want to tell you really quickly about the hydroponic garden. You'll see that there's a picture in there of a little boy holding up a lettuce with about a 2-foot root on it. He was so impressed by the fact that they had grown the lettuce in the kitchen there at Central that he went around and showed it to all of his schoolmates in the cafeteria. It was really super cute. They also grew basil, and we made pesto out of it, and we are sampling that to all the elementary schools, and we'll actually be at San Lo this week to sample pesto to the kids at San Lo. It's been really great. I also want to draw your attention to the fact that it talks about the new rules about 50% of cafeteria food being produced from scratch, and Alma and her staff are at 75%. So I just want to give a huge shout out to Alma and her staff for doing a really great job this year. They've done some really amazing things. So thank you. So we're here tonight to talk about the proposed changes to the wellness policy. The wellness policy, PED requires that the wellness policy be reviewed every 3 years, and any changes made that are necessary. And the SHAC team went through each section of the wellness policy with the person who is essentially in charge of that section. They made a presentation to the SHAC committee about what was happening in their departments, and we discussed if there were any changes necessary. I also want to give a huge shout out to the Cobre SHAC team. They're an amazing group of people, and we've gotten some really good work done this year. So there were 2 language changes proposed for the wellness policy. The first one is it's the recommendation of the SHAC that we add language on page 22 under food safety inspections, and the language change would be quote, in order to promote the highest standards of food safety in Cobre Schools cafeterias, the only jewelry to be worn by student nutrition staff while on the clock will be a plain wedding band to be covered by a glove when handling food, and fingernails will be kept no longer than the tip of the finger and unpolished. And those would obviously also be covered by the gloves that they're wearing when handling food. I did check in with PED to see if PED had an actual rule on this, and they do not. They leave it up to the individual districts. And so Amanda Hermosillo, the culinary operations specialist, actually sent me a link to the language that they use, that she recommends that be used. And so we use that language for this change. The second change that we proposed, I'm going to start by saying that I owe all of you a huge apology. This Senate Bill 24, which the language came from that I was proposing, did not actually pass. And we have had some real challenges on this recess rule. We know that there was a change made to recess since the wellness policy passed the last time, but we cannot find that language, and PED has been extremely unhelpful on this particular thing. And so when I found SB 24, I thought, oh, I've got it. It's here. But unfortunately, I checked on it after I proposed the language, and SB 24 hadn't actually passed. So we're going to withdraw that change, the second change. We do know that there's been a change, and I think that will be next year when we clarify that and update the wellness policy. So I stand for any questions.
So you're recommending the first part that you read?
Yes,
Okay,
that would be the jewelry and fingernails.
okay.
I don't have any questions. Just thank you for
Yeah,
giving us the newsletter.
thank you very much.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the wellness policy change regarding jewelry.
I'll move.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. That moves us to item D, approval of budget decrease 24,160 rural and low income schools. Mr. Ryan, if you could speak to this.
Yes, you have a bar decrease in front of you here. I received notification last week from PED that this budget was being cut, and you'll see the spreadsheet where our budget was cut from $39,325 down to $33,029, and that's a cut of $6,296. And I'm proposing these cuts. One line is where we have extra funds in is the health and medical premiums, $5,952, and along with that, the indirect costs of $343.91. Any questions?
This is the rural one that we've
No, that's not the one you're thinking of. I'm reading your mind. No, this is the federal grant.
So we never got any money for the state?
No,
or
we
rural?
didn't. That was part of the state equalization guarantee last year, and that was just one of the variables in the formula that was cut. But this is something different. It's called the same thing, but it's something different. This is a federal grant that we receive.
Do you know whether districts our size ever received any of those grants?
No, not that I'm aware of. That went away. Well, it didn't go away. It's just that we didn't qualify for it the past year because of the census data. That's what happened with us.
Was it, okay, the census data would have been the data we provided. There wasn't really an actual census done at that time.
The census is done every 10 years, and they pulled the latest census data and they updated their formula with it, and that brought us down.
Okay,
But totally unrelated from this bar.
okay.
You know, I think that affected a school district, if I'm remembering correctly, when Emery and I were at training, we sat with, I think it was Powake School District that also took a hit with that, and they were asking us about it.
Yeah.
So it was Powake, yeah. So I know for sure them because we were talking about it at breakfast.
Yeah.
And they said it affected them as well.
Yeah, I'm sure there were winners and there were losers. We were a loser.
Well, and their gym is way older than ours. Remember they told us?
Yeah.
They're like, well, we're in competition with you about which district's older, which buildings are in more need of repair.
And they talked about their baseball fields too.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's in bad shape.
Okay, are there any other questions?
No.
All right, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the budget decrease 24160, the rural and low income schools.
Okay, is there a second? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, that moves us to item 8, our Finance Committee report. We met last week on Tuesday. We discussed stipends. And everyone that gets a stipend in our district provided an email with why they should continue receiving the stipend. So as a committee, we decided to reduce the Title IX team from 2,000 to 500. And then the only other change was with Caitlin, with our technology person, the stipend from 2,000 to 2,500. And then everyone else was going to continue to get the stipend that they received. So was there any other change in the stipends?
No, that was it.
But everyone provided justification on how they go over and beyond to earn those. And then we did review the bills and the credit card statement. There was some questions about DoorDash being used. Some of the coaches doing DoorDash, and so we talked about that, and we've been told that that's been put to a stop. So we're happy about that. Did I miss anything?
No, I can't think of anything offhand. Anything else we discussed?
Okay.
I have a question. The duties both of the audit committee and the finance committee is to make recommendation to the board for actions. And it sounds like that's not being deliberated by the board, that's being done individually by the committee,
Well,
which they do.
we're going to bring the stipends up for approval. That was a discussion we had.
Okay, so that, and those haven't been put in place already?
No, sir. That was at our last meeting, our
For
discussion
next year.
for next fiscal year, next school year.
Okay,
So they'll be on the agenda for our next meeting to discuss and then approve if the board feels like they want to go forward with approving.
thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Okay, that moves us to item 9, the audit committee report.
We haven't met, but we will meet this Wednesday, the 14th.
Okay. All right. That moves us to item 10, our board members' reports. Mrs. Harden, is there anything you'd like to report on?
I just want to thank all the teachers, this being the end of the year, and just a shout out to all the teachers' aides and their staff.
Ms. Heredia, anything from
I
you?
just want to echo that comment to thank you to all the teachers, administrators, and all the staff, because it is the hardest time of the year. And then thank you to Charlene and Mrs. Chavita and everybody that helped with the beautiful Teacher of the Year banquet. And everyone that is putting on the graduation at the high school, the custodians, the administrators, the teachers, and everybody that helps out at that event.
Just ditto to what they both said. I don't think there's much to add. Mr. Guadiana?
Just that the boys team did make it to the state bracket, but didn't succeed in it. The girls are still active in the state for softball. And those are being played here, so it's encourage people to attend. I haven't been able to attend one yet, but I will be there on the one on Thursday. The work going into graduation, especially given certain staffing shortage, I really appreciate the work that is being taken up by others, as well as a contractor, I guess, that is involved. I appreciate that you guys are looking to make sure that everything is seamless. I appreciate that very much. And congratulations on the scores that I missed last time I was here. Do you have any update on the, what do you call it, the SAT? No. Okay.
Okay, that moves us to item 11, our superintendent's report.
I don't have anything this evening.
All right. That moves us to item 12, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Well,
Do I have a second? All right, we are adjourned at 5:44 p.m. I will see everyone